Now, Fake Tapper, also at CNN, he was very confused the other day. He was grilling Cory Gardner, the rhino senator from the great state of Colorado, on the issue of fraud in Florida. You have any evidence? You have any evidence whatsoever, Senator? Any evidence whatsoever? Where's the evidence? Well, this law's being broken, and this deadline's being broken, and this... Yeah, but where's the evidence of fraud? Hey, dummy. Fake. When you violate state law and state regulations, that is evidence of fraud. But he wanted more. So the intrepid Jake Tapper, a.k.a. Fake Tapper, sits on his butt at the CNN headquarters in Washington, D.C., demanding that Republicans bring him evidence of fraud. Okay, Fake, I'm going to give you some information. It's actually from Politico. You know, you read that after you read the Holocaust-denying New York Times. And it's in Politico, and I'm sure you're going to cover it very, very heavily this evening. I don't know if you did. Your show's over, actually. Listen to this one, Fake. Matt Dixon, Tallahassee, Politico. The Florida Department of State last week asked federal prosecutors to investigate dates that were changed on official state election documents, the first voting irregularities it has flagged in the wake of the 2018 elections. Now, why wasn't this story broken on CNN? Because CNN's not investigating and CNN could care less. That's why. The concerns, which the department says can be tied to the Florida Democratic Party, center around date changes on forms used to fix vote-by-mail ballots sent with incorrect or missing information, known as cure affidavit. You know what? In the old days when I used to vote, there are no cure affidavits, provisional voting, early voting. You got off your ass and you voted on Election Day. Unless you literally couldn't, and then you could file an early ballot, but you had to file a signed affidavit under penalty of perjury. Now you can vote by mail. You can vote on the internet. You can vote if you're a non-citizen. You can vote if you don't know how to buckle your seatbelt. You can vote if you don't know how to, you understand. Known as cure affidavits, those documents used to fix mail ballots were due no later than 5 p.m. on November 5, the day before the election. But affidavits released on Tuesday by the Department of State in Florida show that documents from 4 different counties said the ballots could be returned by 5 p.m. on Thursday, which is not accurate. Audio of a Florida Democratic Party caller leaving a voicemail message asking a Palm Beach County voter to fix their vote by mail ballot after Election Day, which is not allowed, was also sent to Politico separately. It was not part of the information turned over to federal prosecutors. It will be now. Among the counties in question is Broward, which emerged at the epicenter of controversy as 3 statewide races and 3 local legislative races went into recounts following the November 6 election. Let's be honest. Look what happened in California. 5 Republicans wiped out after Election Day. 4 Republicans wiped out. Look what happened in Arizona. A senator wiped out after Election Day. Other states too. Let's continue. The Department of State of Florida, officials there have repeatedly told the media that the monitors they sent to Broward County show no election fraud. It wasn't until Tuesday that the office revealed publicly that it had turned over information to federal prosecutors. The information was sent on November 9 by Bradley McVeigh, Department of State Interim General Counsel, who asked that the altered dates be investigated. See, it's a crime to change ballots like this. Count every vote. Count every vote. Even the fraudulent ones. Even the non-citizen ones. Even the ones from dead people. The records released by the Department of State, which is part of Governor Rick Scott's administration. See, Politico can't help it. The Department of State is part of Rick Scott's administration, but Rick Scott actually has absolutely nothing to do with this process. So why don't they put that in the Politico piece? Well, you know why. They point the finger at the Florida Democratic Party. Political parties can get daily lists of people who had their mail-in ballots rejected. Political parties or anyone else can also get the publicly available cure affidavits and send them to voters who had mail-in ballot rejected to encourage them to fix the ballots. In an email chain released as part of the Department of State's Tuesday document dump, Citrus County Wouldn't you love to live in Citrus County? Oh, it's Citrus County. Citrus County Supervisor of Elections Susan Gill last week told the Department of State officials that a voter who received one of the cure affidavits with the wrong date had also received a call from a number identified as the Tallahassee office of the Florida Democratic Party, an indication the party was reaching out about her vote by mail ballot. When I called it, it is the Democrat Party of Florida, she said in a November 8 email to the Department of State. She went on to write that she thinks the incorrect date was used because whoever sent the cure affidavit mixed up the deadline for cure affidavits with the deadline for provisional ballots. That change to an official election form was what state officials turned over to federal prosecutors. Another email included in the Department of State document dump included correspondence from Okaloosa County Supervisor of Elections Paul Lux, who also said he believed the affidavits from the Florida Democratic Party. So it looks like we have potential systemic fraud, a potential federal investigation, and I'm sure Fake Tapper will be so concerned about this that he'll cover it thoroughly, won't you, Fake? Maybe Jim Acosta, should he be able to ask a question at the White House? Maybe he'll say to the president, Mr. President, you've been saying that there's fraud in Florida. There is evidence of fraud in Florida. What is your opinion? No. He won't ask that question because the president's name is Trump, not Obama. I'll be right back.